All right, welcome back to the Quarantine Diaries Part 2 with Isabella. We left off on talking about Netflix and the one and the only Outer Banks, which now means the only natural place to go to is in this season of quarantine and lockdown and the great pause and everything else. What outside of the obvious of not getting to maybe be in a play or at the same time not being able to see friends or whatever it might be, what has been
Right.
your least favorite part of this quarantine season?
Um, I would say my least favorite part is just struggling with trying to find a schedule during all of it and keeping busy. More so a couple months ago than recently with being able to have more availability to do stuff. But before it was like sometimes hard because sometimes I'd have a lot of schoolwork, sometimes I wouldn't. And I'd be like, okay, what can I fill my day with? What can I do to still like be productive and find a schedule? And I'm very OCD and organized about stuff. So I wanted to make sure I had things going on. But yeah, I would say it was sometimes hard to just find time to like get work done because I would have all day to do my schoolwork, and sometimes I would slack off and say, okay, I'll do it later, and I just that like always like just made me so mad for a while. I was like, I need to just get it done in the morning and like just figure it out. But
Mhm.
just not having the schedule as you would with going to school and like having your 7 hour school
Yep.
day, definitely was my least favorite part. That made it hard for me because it also made it demotivating to like get work done. So I had to motivate myself to do it
Hmm.
and stay on top of it, which I did. But I struggle with that a
Yep.
little bit. So
Welcome,
that was definitely my least favorite part.
welcome to college life, Isabella.
Yeah.
Where you're only going to some classes once a week, depending on what school you're at. And then you have to worry about all your homework. But you're like, I got time. Nope, I don't have time. Here's the all-nighter. So you're getting some prep in for college, so that's good. Um,
Yeah.
on the
True.
flip side of that, what has been your favorite part of this quarantine season?
Um, I would say my favorite part is kind of getting a little bit of a break from, I don't know, just the busyness of life. I feel like, I mean, I think everything happens obviously for a reason. God has a plan for all of it. And I think a part of his plan was to give everybody just kind of a little bit of a break and a detox that they might have needed from the daily stressors of life, which we still have with, quarantine and stuff. We still have stuff going on, but it gives us more time to be home and to be with the family. I've been able to spend more time with my family, which has been nice because I remember just for so long I've been so busy at school, and I would always think, even just leading up to quarantine and corona, before I knew any of that was going to happen, I was like, oh, I just wish I had like a week off of school, just like a break to kind of relax and get stuff done at home that like I couldn't get done, whatever. If I wanted to organize or rearrange my room, do this or that, hang out with the family more. And so I feel like I got the opportunity to do that, and kind of just, I don't know, just take a deep breath from stuff going on. So that was nice, I would say, to kind of like reconnect and do stuff like
Hmm.
that.
That's perfect because I feel like that's one of the common themes I keep hearing from people in general has been the
Yeah.
ability to slow down.
Yeah.
If you were to compare your life
Uh-huh.
pre-quarantine, pre-COVID, versus now and or maybe what it'll be coming out of quarantine, um, do you what pace of life do you like better, and or maybe like what part of this rhythm do you want to take out with you into the new world that awaits one day?
Um, I would say I feel like this whole process has made me appreciate so much of the stuff, that we kind of take for granted. Just being able to, like be with our friends and go out in public and go to restaurants and go to movie theaters and all of that. And I think that was definitely a way for us to look back and realize that, like wow, like we have all that, but we didn't really think of how easily it was like at our fingertips, and now it's not there. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think that after all this, it's definitely gonna it has made me appreciate things more, especially in the future, and just maybe being more careful with certain things and trying to stay safe so that, we can slowly get things back to the way they were, even though I don't think they'll ever fully be the same because this whole process and Corona has really changed, the world. But I think it will make, me appreciate things more in the future, and also just kind of slow down like it has. And I'm looking forward to see like how, I'm just wondering how it'll look like in the future if we'll be able to go back to school. And I think I don't know, it's just a big change. So it's hard to know exactly what will come around the corner. But I definitely enjoyed my life pre-quarantine and pre-corona and all that, but it's not like it's the end of the world with everything going on. So hopefully things will get back to normal in the fall. Just looking trying to find the positive through it all and hoping that, it'll be all good for the better. But yeah.
Mhm. So this is a question I haven't asked anybody at this point, but it just popped into my head. Um, how would you say your view on technology or digital life has changed in light of all of this? Because I know I myself as a millennial, I didn't grow up with it, but I was like the first real generation that had easy access to it. So
Right.
technology for me, it just is what it is. But even I'm digitally burned out. But you, as Gen Z, you're fully native. This is just the world you know.
Right.
So, how has your relationship with technology, you think, changed or shifted? Or taking a new appreciation for the technology at your fingertips? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say just with all the extra free time we have, it's made me use technology a lot more and probably more than I should have, but I still try and limit that, just with apps and stuff and like TikTok. I never really went on TikTok that much before quarantine and Corona. And now I'll find myself just like randomly scrolling through like the like weirdest videos and I'll be sending them to my friends and like, I don't even know. But yeah, so I feel like I've definitely TikTok is one of the apps that it's my most used ever since Corona and quarantine. But I found it really funny. Like I don't Instagram as much as anymore I used to. Like TikTok for me is the new Instagram, which I used to go on Instagram a bunch. But so yeah, I found certain apps that I've been using more than others. But in the beginning, it was hard because my screen time was kind of going up a lot, and I was trying to like limit that. So I would check and stuff, but I try on my phone as much, but I still sometimes do because we're all guilty of that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely given me and I'm sure everybody else more availability to the technology that we have. But yeah, so hopefully
Yeah.
we can use that in a better way though to try not be on it as much. See.
Because I can't imagine being on quarantine or lockdown during the Spanish flu of 1918. Um,
Oh gosh.
like that just sounds. I mean, I might be tired of Zoom or tired of digital stuff or whatever it might be, but
Right.
at least I still have the ability to see my parents' face in California, or hear their voice in California. I can't imagine in the Spanish flu of 1918 where there were carrier pigeons or it was just literally mail and then
Just
maybe radio. Yeah.
I don't even that
Um,
would
yeah.
thankfully we're not
So I do feel like it's given me a new appreciation for technology,
there.
even if I'm
Yeah.
tired of it. Um, but yeah,
I
it's
would
just interesting to see. So even with that, what do you think has been the most challenging part of this season for you?
um I would say the most challenging, kind of like before, not totally having a schedule, but also like not knowing what's going to happen because I keep thinking about the future, even though I try and stay focused on the present. It's just hard to know, like with next year, like, am I going to have a normal senior year? Like, am I going to go to school? Will I be able to go to all the football games and like cheer on my guy friends who play football and like, do all the fun stuff that like I want to do and be able to finish high school with a normal high school experience. So I think that's the hard thing because me and all my friends just keep talking about like what's going to happen. Like we don't know, it's in God's hands. Whatever happens, happens. But just kind of thinking about that a bunch has been probably the hardest part, and not knowing where everything's going to take us and how it's going to work out. I mean, I feel so sorry for the seniors that had to, graduate via like Zoom and not be able to have a normal end of year graduation. But I also can't help but wonder what the class of 21 is going to be like. Like, are we going to start off this way and it's going to be like it the whole year, and instead of just the seniors ending it that way? So I don't know. That's probably
Yeah,
the challenging part.
that's my hope. I don't want to have to see another senior class
Right.
miss out on so many of the tent pole um,
Yeah.
experiences and stuff. Because it's one thing to miss out on a prom, but I feel like graduation is the whole like,
It's sad. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
sad, it's crazy.
balance of
Um,
it.
so as you think about yourself inside the midst of all this, what is the thing you are looking forward to the most? So as stuff starts to reopen and things become safer and safer and hopefully stay safer and safer, um,
Right.
when whatever it is you have the clear to do it, what is the thing that you are looking forward to doing the most?
Um, would say probably I love going to the movies. So whenever the movies reopens, that's I'm gonna be like the first one there, whatever day that is. I've been thinking about that because I mean, I don't really think of really anything else because we can still kind of go to the beach now, except on Sullivan's, but with the keeping it moving. But and some stores have been reopened and stuff. But I pretty much online shop anyway, so there really isn't anything except like for the movies. I'm just really excited to go back because I mean, I love movies and I love to act and stuff. So that was like the thing. I'd always go to the movies with my friends and stuff. So I'm excited for that to open back up because that's also something to do.
Yep.
And it's a fun movie experience. There were so many movies a couple before quarantine that I'm excited to go see, and then they were all postponed. So hopefully in the future that'll reopen sometime. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to
crossed.
know what is going to change about the movie experience through all
Yeah,
of this, because none of them have reopened yet, so we have no idea what they're like.
right. What they're thinking or
Yes.
how they would do it. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
wondering the same thing, but
Yeah, because I love going to movies. It's so much fun. Um,
yeah, I
what
agree.
what restaurant will you go to and sit inside first, or are looking forward to going and like sitting inside first?
I think. Well, I have so many favorite restaurants. I was at Home Team the other day and I got to sit outside there, so that was nice because I've missed going there. But
Which home team? The
maybe
one on Sullivan's or
yeah, Home
downtown?
Team on Sullivan's. Yeah, they have one downtown, but it's on Sullivan's across from Poe's,
Mhm.
and so that's good. I love going there, but I don't know. Maybe Mellow Mushroom. I don't think they're open yet inside, and they have a really good vegan pizza that I like. So I'll be excited when that opens back up to go there.
Mellow Mushroom. You went with the outside choice. I'm impressed. Um, yeah, I was not expecting a chain place to be on the answer. I'm impressed. So good. Okay. Um, so now as we start to land the plane a little bit and we get to the more serious aspects of this, what do you
Right.
think is one thing, could be more, but maybe one thing or one big thing you've learned
Mhm.
about yourself in this season that you didn't know previously?
Um, see something I've learned about myself. I think we just to be able to appreciate the time you have with your loved ones and your family and friends because you never know when that could be taken from you or taken. We take that for granted a lot. And with all, I have a lot of family members like grandparents and stuff that I haven't seen in a while. So it's made me realize, like how important it is to just stay connected even when we're not with each other and to just use the time wisely like with family and even though we still like we have stuff going on, we're still busy, but to just still like make the time to hang out with people that we love and be with our family and be with our friends. I think that's so important because I've made so many good memories even through like quarantine
Mm-hmm.
when I've been able to see people. And so I think that just keeping that up and realizing like how important that is, even with the busyness of our lives and Corona, that, it's good to just take a break from it all and appreciate the people that we have right around us. And even in ways we might not, if we can't see them in person, we can use Zoom
Mm-hmm.
just to connect and to see everyone. So yeah, I would say that stood out to me a lot during this whole process.
Yeah, that's perfect. So even with that one step farther, what is something maybe you've learned about your relationship with God or God himself inside this season?
Right. Um, I would say kind of similar to that even though during the time, you think, oh, I have so much time to pray and to read the Bible and to stay connected with God, we still can get caught up in the busyness of it all. And I think it's made me realize that no matter what I'm doing, if I'm in school or if I'm not at school, like how important it is for me to always make the time for God because I want to. And, that's something I want to strengthen my relationship with Him. And so I feel like I've learned also through that this has been given me like a chance more to be able to do those things and to read the Bible more and to just appreciate like nature and the gifts that God has given us, which is why, like I said earlier, like I think it's good that we had this, God gave us this break from life and just, I mean, we, still have stuff going on, but just a break from the busyness of it all and take a deep breath and, realize that like He's letting everything happen for a reason. So yeah, I would say I've gotten closer with Him through that, being able to spend more time with God through the quarantine and Corona and at home and all of that.
Perfect. So as we forecast 5 years ahead, hopefully everything in 5 years is maybe not back to the way it was, but a new
Right.
normal. We don't have to worry about corona. There's a vaccine, treatment, whatever. Like it's not on our mind. You'll be, in theory, just graduated from college if everything goes according to plan. Um, so, 5 years from now, how do you think you're going to look back on and remember this season, or what are you going to remember about this season? Or, yeah, 5 years from now, what do you think you're going to remember or reflect on from this time?
Um, that's a great question. I think I'll remember just the fact that everything changed so much, and hopefully, like you said, by then things will be pretty much back to normal. I mean, not the same, everything's going to be different for a while, but I think I'll remember how my life and everyone else's lives had a huge change and halt in them, and I think I'll reflect on that and see like how it impacted me like moving forward, and how stuff like I've learned from that. But I think that yeah, I'll look back on that and be like, wow, that was a crazy time in my life. And something I'll always remember, like no one's ever going to forget 2020. So much has happened this year and is continuing to happen. So I think that when I am graduating college, I'll look back and I'll remember, oh, remember those few months where I was in quarantine and everyone else was, and we couldn't, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that, we couldn't see this person. And I'll, think of, that I'm grateful that I had that experience to make me appreciate things more. Moving forward to enjoy everything that I have, because you don't know what can happen, but yeah,
Mm-hmm. It's
reflect
good.
on that.
Um, so as we hone in on that idea a little bit more, and this is my favorite question of them all. Um, so 5 years from now, when you're back from whatever school you wind up at, and Ellie and I are still here, and we come back, we invite college graduate Isabella over to our house for dinner, and there's a little Ellie or little Jonathan sitting at the table across from you. So little toddler Welch, and they somehow start talking about the great pause of 2020, but they have no recollection of it whatsoever. How would
Yeah.
you describe this season to someone who has no experience of it whatsoever?
Hmm. Um, I will say to that little person or whoever it may be that this was a season of change for the world, for everybody, for businesses, for families. That everybody took a break from their normal lives and tried to regroup and stay safe and stay routine. If I can try and find a way to make have that make sense to the person, but I'll tell them that it was a time where the world kind of went on pause for a little bit, and we just kind of had to figure out what was going to happen, and just take it day by day, and realize that everything going on can slow down for a bit until we figure out a way to keep everybody safe and protected from this pandemic going on. Yeah, I think I'll describe it like that. Hopefully, um, 5 years from now, someone
Yeah,
asks.
perfect. Well, Isabella, thank you for taking time out of your busy summer day to talk to everybody. Do you have any last words that you want to say that maybe you think would be relevant to anybody watching this in the season that we are in?
I would just say I hope everyone has a great summer, and still stay safe and still think about everything that is going on, and try and do your best to keep your distance and to keep healthy, but just enjoy the summer days. Go to the beach, have fun, laugh, be with your family, be with your friends, and I hope for the best in the future for everyone with the following school year, wherever you're off to do, and that things go well. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Perfect. That's a good last word. And on that note, let's say goodbye. And thank you for joining us,
Yeah.
everybody. Bye, Isabella.
Yeah. Bye.